What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the SO Show. Now, today we're gonna talk about the NBA Finals that's going on tonight. We're gonna get a little preview going on and what's the matchups looking like and what I think. So, without further ado, here we got the Celtics at home. They're home against none other than the Dallas Mavericks. Now, it's a lot of reunions going on. You know what I'm saying? We got Kyrie being back in Boston since 2018, you know what I'm saying? Stumping on the Celtic logo, disrespectful a little bit with it. And then we got Porzingis, who used to play for the Dallas Mavericks. He's seeing his old team. He reinvented himself, and he found a home in Boston for the first season. So this is about to be a good game. I'm not gonna lie, this is about to be a real good finals. Now I will say, Last year was cool and all, but I feel like this has been the best finals that I've seen probably since since the Cavs and the Warriors series. So this probably going to be the most exciting. This is going to be the most exciting finals to me in a long time. So I'm definitely going to be watching every game for sure. The Boston Celtics are coming into this game averaging 111.4 points per game. That is second in the NBA in postseason stats amongst all teams. Jason Tatum has been averaging a double-double. Jason Tatum been doing his thing. Jason Tatum been having 26 points, 10 boards a game, and 6 assists. Jaylen Brown, his duo partner, 25 points and 6 rebounds a game throughout this whole playoffs postseason. Now we got the Mavs coming into this. Kyrie has been averaging 22.8. 4 boards and 5.2 assists, with Luka accompanied by almost 30 a game, but 28.8 points, 9.6 rebounds, and 8.8 assists. So he on that verge of almost averaging a triple-double, throughout this whole playoffs. All right, so the key things that I really want to talk about and discuss is basically how the Celtics, honestly, they've been coasting this whole playoffs. I mean, they 12-2 throughout this whole postseason. I mean, they had Miami Heat, a weak Miami Heat team, no Jimmy Butler, breezed by them. Gentlemen swept them. Second round, the Cavs, they didn't have Donovan Mitchell. They didn't have their star Donovan Mitchell, or they didn't have their consistent Jared Allen. So they gentlemen swept them. And this is the conference finals, the Eastern Conference Finals. And they swept. They swept Indiana Pacers. They clinked them out. They swept them out. So, I mean, honestly, the Celtics have been really on cruise control this whole postseason. And that's one thing that I've really been worried about them. For their sake, like that, that's the main thing that I've really I don't know how this series is going to play out because they've been coasting for so long. And they really been chilling, and they haven't faced any adversity. So it's like this is really their easiest. This is probably the most easiest trip to the NBA Finals probably in history, in NBA history. This gotta be. And I'm talking about. I'm not even talking about basketball, NBA in general. I'm talking about sports. This got to be the easiest championship run that I've ever seen from any organization. The Mavericks been battling since round one. Since they faced the Clippers, they had to face the Clippers from round one. They had to face the OKC Thunder second round, and then face the Minnesota Timberwolves for the conference finals. So the Mavs really been on. Their back been against the wall this whole playoff series, and nobody expected them to even go this far. Honestly, I don't think so. At least from what I can go off of, I don't think a lot of people were expecting them to go this far. You know what I'm saying? Especially you got to due to the fact that, Dallas, if you really look at every series that they've been in, they've been on the road the first 2 games. They were never at home for those first 2 games of any of those rounds. They were always away. So because the Mavs been on the road ever since round 1, and they never had home court advantage for those first 2 games, I feel like this Celtics battle is nothing new for them. I feel like this is nothing new for them. Like they honestly, the momentum has been so strong for the Dallas Mavericks. I really don't see. I don't see the Mavs losing this game. At least game one, I don't see them losing this because I feel like just off of the simple fact that the Celtics been chilling on. They basically been on the couch. They've been on the couch for I don't know how long, for how many weeks. They've been on the couch just chilling. Meanwhile, the Mavs just been battling day in, day out, grinding, really, you know what I'm saying? Like really earning a spot into this finals this year. So I feel like all the momentum is pretty much for game one at least. I feel like all the momentum is on the Mavs side, just off of that simple fact right there. Now, what can possibly hurt the Dallas Mavericks is because they've been, clawing, all these game sixes and you know what I'm saying? Like that takes a toll on everybody's body. Even though they had, even though they got they, 4 day, 4 day rest or whatever, however many days it was they had, the rest, they still their body's been through it. Like everybody's bodies has pretty much been through it on that Dallas Mavericks team. So because of the battles that they had to face and get out of that West, I feel like that might possibly hurt them for game one. It might. And especially being in Boston and Boston being at home and they haven't played in I don't know how long. That arena, TD Arena in the TD Arena, I think. I don't know. But that arena is going to be filled. It's going to be packed. It's going to be sold out. And everybody know how these Boston Celtics fans are. They passionate about their sports teams. And the Mavericks are definitely going to hear those first two games. I'm not going to lie. But anyway, but for me, honestly, I think the Mavs are going to take game one just off of the simple fact that the momentum hot. They too hot right now. They too hot. And another thing of why I feel like they're going to win game one, Celtics throughout this whole playoffs, and even in the regular season, the Celtics are a great team, but what kills them is they get complacent. They slack a lot. So they end up, you will see throughout games where, if they battling the Indiana Pacers or they battling a weak Miami Heat team, they sometimes tend to play on their level. Even though Celtics are 10 times better than the Indiana Pacers, a lot of those games were not supposed to be that close because the Celtics were supposed to dominate those games, but because of they slack a lot, and because they keep these underdog teams in the fight. If the Celtics want to set the tone off for game one, they can't slack against this Mavs team, man. They can't. Because honestly, the Mavs have seen it all throughout this whole playoff series. They didn't seen they seen the best of the best. The Timberwolves just knocked off the NBA final. They just knocked off the champs, the Denver Nuggets. They knocked off the Denver Nuggets. And the Mavs basically didn't care about any of that. They didn't care what the Minnesota Timberwolves accomplished through that series. They didn't care at all. That went out. That went out the window for them. And they literally gentlemen swept the Minnesota Timberwolves. They didn't care. So the Celtics cannot slack throughout this whole game, throughout this whole series. They cannot slack. They cannot play. They can't play this slow game where in the first half they just going through the motions and playing lazy. Because on top of that, Dallas Mavericks, what they first in this whole playoff series? The Dallas Mavericks have scored 275 points off of turnovers total through this whole postseason. That's first. So it's obvious that the Mavericks, if the Celtics turn the ball over or get lazy or, just, lollygag throughout the whole game, the Mavs are going to take advantage of that, and the Mavs are going to win this game one, whether they like it or not. And, Porzingis has just got, they just said Porzingis is officially cleared for the night. He will be playing tonight. So that would be a good that's a good boost for the Celtics because they didn't have Porzingis since April 29th. And the thing about Porzingis, he's been out for so long. I don't know what to expect from him game one. I mean, in the regular season, he's averaged 20-7. So I mean, you could take that with a grain of salt because honestly, we got to see what he's like after the injury and everything. So Porzingis is going to be a big piece. He's going to be a big piece for the Celtics if they want to win this game. Porzingis, he has to be, Porzingis has to be Porzingis at the end of the day. He has to rim protect, do what he do best, rim protect, stretch the floor, space the floor out, open up different lanes for Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. And once they double team Jason Tatum, all he got to do is kick it out to Porzingis on the, in the corner or top of the key, wherever Porzingis at. He has to knock down his shots. He has to rim protect. He has to crash the glass. All of that. So, and that's for them. That's for the Celtics. That's for Porzingis and the Celtics. Now on the Mavs side, I don't know how they gonna do it because I don't know how Luka and Kyrie is gonna do it because I mean Boston Celtics they stacked and by the stack I really mean they're stacked starting wise, they stacked bench wise, but also if you really think about it, the Boston Celtics have a lot of two ways. Pretty much their whole roster are full of two ways. You have Jaylen Brown who can kill you offensively and defensively. You got Jason Tatum can kill you offensively and defensively. You got Derek White two way. You got Drew Holiday two way. So it's gonna be real tough for Luke and Kyrie to really score. Like it's now okay. Let me take that back. Luka is gonna get his. He gonna get his points. He gonna get his rebounds. He gonna get his assists. Kyrie, being that he only 6'2", 6'3", it's gonna be Drew Holiday. It could go either way because Drew Holiday is a lockdown defender. So I don't know how they're gonna play. I don't know if Celtics are gonna put Drew Holiday on Kyrie or Derek White on Kyrie or Jaylen Brown on Kyrie. I don't know how they gonna do it, but it's gonna be a defensive battle. Let's just say that it's gonna be a real defensive battle, and Kyrie and Luka just gonna have to find a way. Because even if Kyrie get to the basket, you still got Porzingis rim protecting. So but again, you got Kyrie. He's a good finisher. The layup package is crazy. So this game can literally go any way for both sides. But I'm still gonna go with the Mavs only because the momentum. The Mavs they definitely take advantage of their turnover. They take advantage of their turnover. So once they get a turnover, they're most likely going to score off of that turnover. So and Celtics being lazy sometimes and they go in and out throughout the whole game. Just off of that, I'm going to go with the Mavs winning this game one. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. But that's all I got. This is the SO show, and thank y'all for watching, man.